Let's go.
Let's do it.
Doing it now. Hello and welcome to the Flooring Models live show. Here we are with you on Tuesday, the 14th of November 2023. The days after Telford, or IPMS Telford, 2023, of which we were there on Saturday. And massive thank you to everybody who came and said hello. It was nice to meet so many of you and put some faces to lots of names and things like that. Obviously, it was great to see a lot of the Flory family there as well. And we did our little meet and greet at 2 o'clock, which was very good as well. But a bit different for us because normally, as you say, we're selling and we're busy and we never get out. So it's quite nice to be out chatting, just moseying around the show, having a look, having a bit of a gander in the competition area as well. So yeah, all went really, really well. So it was nice to see so many of you there.
Definitely. Yeah, I have to say it was a really nice day.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, most enjoyable. No,
it was, I must admit. It was nice to be back at a show because technically that's my first proper one since COVID.
And me, I think. And me, yeah.
That's what I'm just thinking, yeah.
Yeah.
Done a few other bits and pieces, but not actually a full-on model show like that. So, but yes, but no, really nice to meet you. Very nice to meet Vincy as well. He said he'd seen us there, also had a chat. Very nice as well. Did you manage to check out managed to check out your auto gyro? And that was very nice.
Thank you.
Which it was. Very nice indeed. Crazy Kit Builder, yeah, obviously met you as well. Thank you very much as well. Lovely to see you. So David says it's nice to meet the team as well. So yes, it was good to see so many of you there and obviously catch up with a lot of you we haven't seen for a long time. A lot of the Flory family as well. A lot of you have been long time members, which was pointed out. This year, I think we're going to have to do a New Year's honours list again because we did do one last year.
No.
Because I was being tight, but I will do some New Year's honours. And some of you reminded me how long you've been members. It's like, crikey. Some of you are, almost the same age as my kids. It's like, Jesus. Yes, we will be sorting that out, but definitely. And also LT Models there has just renewed his membership. Thank you very much as well. But yes, it really, really was nice to see so many of you catching up, chatting, have a few giggles along the way, the usual bits and pieces. So, yeah, no, it's nice to be at it. And also, from our point of view, it really was nice not to have a stand.
Yes, it's kind of changed our outlook a little bit, hasn't it? So we were chatting after the show, really, of like next year what potentially we're going to do. So I think we're definitely back next year in some form anyway. Not selling, not flooding, but actually pretty much as we were, I think, because it's just nice. You can get to see a bit of the show. Like I say, get to a bit of mingle, talk to people, and yeah, it's just a lot more relaxed. Because it's as intense as any of the traders will tell you. It's an intense week. It's an intense run up, and it's probably very intense over the weekend. And again, obviously, you're sorting out and the wind down, and when you come back. So this week for us would have just been literally restarting, putting everything away, and which went out really. So it's been quite pleasant just come in on Monday morning and carry on as normal.
I think you've hit it. I think, like from my point of view, especially what was lovely about the show was I've been doing that show for the last 15 years in trade, one form or another, either for other companies or for working obviously for myself. And this was the first year I've actually been as a member of the public, and you see it from a completely different point of view. It's a bit like, the only way I can describe it, it's a bit like you're on stage. So when you're there trading, you have your stand and you've got your products. And obviously, like I said before, you've paid thousands of pounds to be there selling. So you need to sell. And although it'd be lovely to sit and just chat to people and catch up and just general stuff, I'm acutely aware we need to make some money. Otherwise, this is going to run at a massive loss. So you are there thinking, right, we've got to sell some stuff. We've got to take some money. We've got to do this. We've got to do that. We've got to do the other. And what was really nice this time, though, is that we were there with no pressure at all. It didn't matter how long you stayed. It didn't matter if you left early or whatever you did. There was just no pressure. And obviously, the big thing is there's no pressure of the setup. There's no pressure of all the getting the stock together. You know, obviously from our point of view, because we manufacture our stock, that's weeks in advance. We're getting that already. Up at night for the week before, labelling, bottling, you know, used to be making up sander packs and all the rest of it, getting all the merch together. None of that. So literally we turned up so casually, we drove up Friday afternoon. Lovely weather, I have to say. And then obviously met all the guys. We all met at our secret location, which is a massive great house, so we were all there and we had a lovely evening meal together, just chatting, catching up and all the rest of it. Very nice relaxed breakfast, so that was very nice as well. Thank you, ladies, for that point of view. And then we racked up at the show just before 11 o'clock, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was actually.
So we just casually strolled in, got mugged by everyone from the second we came through the door, which was lovely. And then literally just chatting and speaking to people and making our way around the entire show. And to see it from that point of view, it looks so calm. I think that's the best way to describe it. Everyone looks like they're just milling around. But from a trade point of view, it's totally different. As I say, getting up at 6 o'clock on Saturday morning, making sure you're at the Telford Centre nice and early, because as we all know, you can't park. So making sure we've obviously got the stock vehicles there and all the rest of it. Queuing up, waiting to get in, normally in the freezing cold and raining. And then getting in, setting up and getting everything all ready for the show and that. And it's completely different until literally you go in when it's dark, you come out when it's dark, and you don't see daylight for 3 days. You know, we call it the mushroom farm, and it's like, you know, it's really, really nice to see it from a different side. And now I can see how nice and calm and serene it seems for everybody else who were there. So,
yeah,
it was good.
Just quicken, just before it goes, Mark Keogh has just put, "Hi Phil and Matt, where can I find the details for joining as I'm in Ireland?" I think you might want to join the site.
Right, okay, so if you want to join,
Patreon.
Patreon is your friend. So if you pop over to the site, you can do it this way. Literally go up here to membership in the top here, click in membership, and there's literally two options. If you are in the EU, clearly you are as Patreon, the easiest way is to go over to the Patreon page. So if you just click this, you'll be sent straight over to Patreon. You can sign up. As soon as you signed up, I get an email saying you've signed up, and then I will send you a link which then will get you into, if I just bring it in here, into the forum. And then this will enable you to get into here. And to be honest, as I said before, the forum is the springboard to absolutely everything we do. So all the special offers, all the deals, all the videos that you can't watch if you're not a member, and everything else are all connected via the forum. So the forum is the linchpin to absolutely everything. But basically, that's what it will get you into. So you then can come in here and you can go into all the live shows and stuff that obviously you don't see. Obviously all the video builds, which you don't see. So as you say, there's literally, 155 video builds, 115 full video builds down in here as well, which aren't available to the public. So if you want to go in here and you wanted to pop along and see it, you'll see it in a completely different light, plus the fact all the other stuff that we do as well, they are all literally down in here. So you see, here's all the, they're going to load through, there we go, all the videos coming through, all the high-res videos, and you go back and watch these as much as you like, and plus the fact you get all the other content as well, and all the other stuff, so the special offers and the deals and all the first looks and all the hidden behind the scenes and the shows that we're not allowed to talk about and stuff like that. But you can get all of those literally just down in here. So if you want to catch any of those, you can do, and you can see those. All right, the best way to do that is to literally just pop along to where it is, here it is, down in here. And again, if you are in the UK, you can just do it manually, and that way if you send us this and just say I'm in the UK or I'm not in the EU, and then that way I can send you a login, and then when you log in you'll be asked to subscribe, you can pay your money and off you go. But the easiest way is to go along to Patreon. As soon as you're in Patreon as well, you'll see every video that we've done in the last, I don't know, was it 3 years now? Is already into Patreon, but obviously all the historical ones aren't on Patreon. It's only just the new ones, all right? But yes, there we go. It's just £4 plus VAT a month, or you can do it yearly as well. So you can sign up, and I think you can do it yearly at the discounted price as well. So pretty straightforward, and then go through. But anyway, full terms and conditions and how you send me a kidney when I need one are down underneath as well. And the other thing as well is, don't forget, you can cancel at any time. You can be there 1 month, or in some cases, as pointed out to me, we've got members who have been there now 14 years. So, yeah.
You choose your terms.
Yes, you choose your terms. So, as you say, you don't have to be there forever, definitely. But if you do want to, you can do. They're all down in there. So, but yes, but lovely to have you along. So, Good job. So anyway, today we've got a couple of things going on. I'm going to chuck a coat of wash onto this little lump, nice and steady. And as we're doing that, Matt is going to talk you through then, as that's drying. We can see about Matt's latest project.
We can. My latest project. You want to see?
Yes, go on, give us a tease. Teasy.
You get me think. I've got to keep it. If you can see me keep looking, I've got a window here and I'm waiting for a delivery to come. That's why I'm in this office and not at home like I normally do. So I can see the door go and I'll be off, and the dog will start barking because I've got the dog today. So I do apologise in advance for that. But I am going to start this old classic, which I've showed you before. Obviously, the land is pretty much finished and everything else I've been fiddling about with. So it's time for a new build. So this has been re-released. I think it dates from the 70s. It's number 60, so it's got to be an early kit. Obviously based on the Panzer II chassis, which must have been one of their first kits. Built this before many years ago when I first started getting to armour. So I thought revisit it. What I am going to do though is a little bit of upgrade, as you've probably seen on the thumbnail. I've printed off some tracks. This is only a portion, and I've got to obviously disconnect them some way, which actually is not as bad as it looks. And also on that, obviously on that thumbnail, what you've seen, there's a drive sprocket. There is an idler wheel. I had a bit of a failure, so I'm going to have to print some more off anyway. And I think the return rollers as well are in there. You'll probably use the kit wheels. And then I'm going to add the bits of stowage, whether it's 3D stowage or I'll probably add the kit boxes. I might upgrade them. Ooh, that was me. Do apologise. Did you hear that? Blooming figures. Figures again. I'm probably going to upgrade the figures because obviously these are 70s figures and they're a bit naff, if I'm honest. So I'll find some others to occupy the space. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be planning on doing. No idea how I'm going to paint with it yet. I'll come to that when I've built it. But I think it's just going to be a nice little relaxing Tamiya kit. Say the tracks are, which I've just discovered because I can hardly see them because they are tiny, as you can see.
Yes, they are a bit micro.
Are actually workables. There are little holes in them. I don't think I'm going to get this on my cam. I'll try. Oh god, that's a bit close. Wait, super zoom. Super zoom. I don't think you're going to see this, but they are actually hollowed. Can you see that? I bet you can't see it, can you?
So you can get a pin through them.
Yeah, you can. You can pin them and make them workable. Yeah, you can just get it in the right angle. So I've got to find some wire of the right diameter to try and put these together, which would be nice because actually I thought I was having to go into fit them in situ on the wheels and paint them.
Yes.
But we'll have a go first. But the fit is actually, when you join them together, is really good. No, that's a bit far away because they are tiny things, but they do go together well. So hopefully, like I say, with a bit of wire to pin them, should be good. So that's going to be what I'm going to be up to today.
Very nice.
I do like it old school Tamiya. Look, you get two sets of instructions, one in Japanese and one in everybody else's. So you can take your pick.
Very nice. Right, hold on. I'm just literally hold on. Hold that thought. Well, I'm just going to ping. You're going to get a thing come up on your phone. Just that people are asking. Yes. So I'm literally just going to use you. Sorry, you're being used and abused.
All right, okay.
Right, hold on.
I've got my phone on silent. Do I need to look at it?
No. You don't have to do anything. I'm just going to use your messenger to show on screen.
Oh, right, okay.
If that makes sense.
Oh, the picture I sent you?
No. It's some pictures from Telford that I took of the Gannet when we were talking to Angie,
okay. Yeah, I'm with you.
So I was just trying to figure out a way of doing this to show on screen, and doing it this way is the quickest because I forgot to upload them to the server. So hold that thought, everyone.
You can tell how old this kit is because it's designed for batteries.
Oh yes.
So
people are asking on one of our last shows about the reasons for scales. A lot of the reason for the scale is because it was the size of two batteries. Was it C batteries or whatever they were? Yeah. Okay. That's the reason they are that scale, because it was the size of the batteries that determined it used to be able to fit inside the tank.
Oh god. Yeah, proper old school.
So here we go. Right, so for people asking, did we see the Gannet? Yes, we did. here it is. We were lucky enough to get hands-on with it because Pranjit was there. So we were looking at, obviously, as a lot of you did, some of the sprues and stuff, but also we got to fondle 2 other ones as well, which were in various states, which came out from behind the scenes. And this is it. And I have to say, this is definitely, without any shadow of a doubt, the finest detailed Airfix kit I've seen.
It is.
The riveting is beautiful.
Fit is unreal.
Yeah, so we had a go. We had a go at fitting these things and going through and actually putting them together. And the fit is absolutely mega. The way that the 2 halves just go together seamlessly, and then these wings, the way that they slot in, it almost clicks together. It's that well done. But yes, it is absolutely beautiful. So these are just some of the pics I took off the stand. And then we had a bit of a fiddle and a play with some other ones. But yeah, I have to say it's one of those ones where, yeah, they've definitely surpassed themselves again. Really very, very nice all the way through. And they do look absolutely gorgeous, I must admit. One of those ones that, yeah, I can prove it now because everyone thinks I'm mad. But you see it where it's like wings down, doesn't look as cool as it does when it's folded up. Because folded up just looks absolutely mega with this thing. And some really nice options down there as well for markings. So, and again, you could probably do the German one easily and a couple of other people's as well with it. But it is very, very nice indeed.
I know Extra Deco have released a load of, options, decal options.
Yes.
That's just come out, so yes.
Some other shots from around the show, which I was just taking, as you can see.
If you recognise yourself.
That's it. There we go. Dream team.
Without me.
People are asking, where's Matt? Matt was yapping.
Yeah, probably.
So, yes. And then, as I say, nice to see Ian. And we were talking about the F-35 and half tracks and other things.
And Spencer down the other end.
Spencer's down the end as well. We spoke to Spence for a good, Christ, felt like ages, but taking up lots of his valuable time. We were saying he didn't do much building, did he?
It probably did to him.
Yeah, that's it. But no, it's really nice to catch up with Spence. I haven't seen Spence for a long time, but Mr. Pollard, he was down there and all the rest of it. And there's the gang. There we go. There's us in one form or another.
Yep.
The dream team. So yes, but no, it's really nice to catch up with everyone and meet so many of you.
Sorry, the dog's dipping in the bin as she does. Right.
We were fondling the gnat, so yes, having our grubby little mitts on it, which is nice.
Yeah, it was. No, it's like I say, it's going to be out in a few weeks, so those of you who've got your name down for a pre-order, you're not going to be disappointed, are you?
Yeah, 100%. You are definitely not going to be disappointed at all. It is absolutely fantastic, beautiful, beautiful kit. Right, so Bradley just saying there, great to see this kit, Matt. He's building it. It comes with rubber tracks. No way that he would have the skill or patience to build the plastic working tracks.
They're not hard.
It's just repetitive.
It's just repetitive. It's not difficult at all, to be honest, to do these. And if you make yourself a little jig, it makes life a lot easier. But yeah, I mean, good pair of tweezers, right wire. I think once you've got a couple going, once you've got a couple like a run going, say a run of 4, then you can pick them up. And it's a lot easier to put them together. It's the first few that can be a bit fiddly, but after that, it's not too bad. I mean, taking them off this is not the most pleasant, but it's not the hardest thing to do either. Again, for the cost of what I've paid to do this,
yes,
and if I break any, lose any, snap any, well, just print some more off. Obviously, you ain't got that option if you're buying off the shelf stuff. So that's what I like about it. And obviously, they're not massive tracks anyway, but it took me ages. I could find every other Panzer on there, apart from a Panzer II. And the Panzer II ones I did find, I've saved a couple of the person's files, whoever's designed them, are not on there. There were no actual physical file left, if that makes sense. I don't know why it's been deleted. But this was like an upgrade set, which is actually designed for this kit, thankfully, because I built in the cabinet that way, There's a Dragon one that I built of this. So obviously those of you are thinking, well, why don't you just build the Dragon one? It's better. It is, but it's not, I'm going for a bit of nostalgia build and see what I can do with it with a few easy upgrades, shall we say. So that's why I've chosen it.
Right, 2 questions just before we get going with everything. First one's from James. He says, in over 50 years of building models, I came across something that I heard can happen but never experienced. And I'm opening an Academy kit that had vinyl tyres, which were in a bag, and the rest of the kit, one of the tyres had melted itself to the bag, leaving a perfect shape of itself in the plastic. The old vinyl tyres, I mean like the old ones, that was the trouble. They used to melt. They used to literally stick. If you had them on, your shelf, over time, they would go flat. You'd have them like the tyres are literally gone flat, and those sticky crap that used to come off of them. But I always thought these days, or definitely in the last 20 years, they had come away from that.
I've got to say, the old Tamiya, because I remember building the old LRDG Chevy truck. And the tyres on that on me after a certain amount of time just split. That was the other thing. They didn't think it. They just cracked and split. So I don't know what they're using nowadays. I presume it's a lot better product. But yes, it weren't a good thing after a few years when your tyres were knackered.
Because it used to happen as well. I think it happened more with tyres because it's the thickness of the rubbery stuff they used to use, but vinyl tracks as well. Occasionally they used to get sticky on the bottom where they were starting to melt as well. But I think because the nature of the tyres, of how it's positioned, because of the weight onto it, they just literally start to almost turn to... The only way I can describe it is if you get the old blackjack sweets.
Yeah.
Those things, and if you leave them long enough, what happens to them? It's the same effect.
Probably made out of the same thing.
That's it. So, that was all, to be honest with you, one of the big things when I was, into the hobby in the early days, people were buying resin replacement wheels because of that issue, that people were worried that over 20 years' time, what's going to happen to the tyres? That's when people were coming out of replacement resin tyres, because it was nothing to do really with weight on wheels. People were just worried about them melting and what would happen to them. So... Yes, I think pretty much like we're saying, yes, not the bag, the kit parts. I know what you mean. It's the actual tyres themselves are just melting. I've had it happen. And also sometimes you can get that situation where you can actually scrape the tyre and it's like it comes off like soft butter or whatever it is to them. And they go horrible. Because I've had it happen when I've actually been trying to sand tyres down. That it almost peels rather than sands, which isn't a good thing. Where are we? Hold on, let me just got a couple more questions in here. Where are we? Neil says, I was wondering if it was motorised back in the day. I built the motorised Tiger. What a revelation! Along with their F1 kits. It was. They were all motorised back in the day.
Yeah.
So yes, if you look on all of them, like Matt's just shown you, they've actually got the instructions for the polarity of the batteries.
I think there is, yeah.
It's moulded still in the bottom. And the reason there's a slot on the bottom, that's the power, the on-off switch.
It is, there, look.
So you use slider. I used to slide it across to turn them on.
Yeah. Switch it on.
There was a thing years and years ago, I don't know if it's still available, because this is going back some time now, probably 25 years or so, but there was a company selling the motors and the battery pack and everything that could go in them. You could have it like a conversion kit to do it, but it was really expensive. We used to say, Christ, that's, 3 times the cost of the kit, But there was actually a company who were doing it where you could put the motors all back into them and away you go. I know there was a call for Tamiya to actually release them as an anniversary thing. I don't think they ever did. But there was a bit of a thing going around at the time. Wouldn't it be good if they came out with the original motorised ones in there? So...
But they did the World War One tank were motorised.
Yeah, they did the Mark V, wasn't it?
Mark V,
Which I did, which is a fantastic kit. Really, really nice. I had it driving around here when I was building it. And but yeah, it's quite something, I must admit.
Jim's got a question, I think.
Yes.
Will the tracks be secured with pins, or do they snap together? No, I need to pin them. They've got little holes for pinning. They're not snapped together ones, thankfully. I don't like snap together tracks. I don't think they're strong enough. They're a bit fragile. No, these will be pinned. Think of them like through tracks. You just get you a bit of wire, and to be honest with you, some of them are designed and actually you get resin pins as well.
Yes.
And you can make them workable like that. So, but no, these are just without. So I'll just make my own pins with some wire. Be stronger anyway. Right.
So Tim was saying, I'm sure it came with one had a 2-stick controller connected to a cable. I think you're right. They did. They were just the left and right. You went off. LT Model says, I was surprised to see how much Flory Models has grown after coming back. I joined Flory Models about 10 years ago. Congratulations, Phil, on how far you've gotten. Well, thank you. It's nice to see I'm moving along and not dying quietly in a corner.
Stuck in a rut.
Yeah, still doing exactly the same thing I did 10 years ago. I know everyone hates change, and it will be that for members. We'll talk about this on a member show, clearly. But I will be doing the annual survey soon.
Oh, God. Our survey says. So Family Fortunes.
It is. You can give us your honest feedback, as always, because I want your honest feedback about where we're going, what we're doing, and all the rest of it, seeing as you're all shareholders in the company.
Yeah.
So, so that'll be coming up in December. So it'll be that time of year again. So yes. Christopher says, how did the new F30 Tamiya F35B kit look? It looked just like the F35A kit, apart from it's got some holes in it with a big lifting fan and a nozzle. But no, it did look nice. We saw it all built up down at the Tamiya stand. But yes. And will they be doing an F-35C? Apparently was one of the most popular questions. But I imagine they probably will. They've done the A and the B. They're going to do the C. So
you'll be covered.
They have covered. What time did you meet up? So I was around the Airfix site around 2. There we go, John. That's because you missed us, because we had it at 2. But to be honest, we were stood there for a good 3/4 of an hour. So we had it literally in Hall 3, just in front of the bar.
Not far from the Luftwaffe SIG.
Yes, very close to the Luftwaffe SIG.
Not far from where lunch was.
Yes. My first Tamiya model was the original Jack Tiger kit that was motorised and ran around the room. See, it's the way to have it.
It is.
Jim says, will you use metal wire on your tracks, I assume?
Yes.
Definitely. It's so much easier with metal because you can just cut it. Yep. Shove them through and cut it.
Yeah. I'll make one to and then make a load and then just trim it once it's super glued in place. Drop a super glue on the end. Done. So I'd say it's going to be a bit fiddly, but I think once you get going, you just put some music on or a podcast or whatever and just carry on, really.
To be honest, normally I've often said is that, because I'm not an armour modeller at all, as a lot of you know, but when I do it, I used to, and I still say that you could break it down into subsections, set yourself a goal of doing 25 links at a time. But I'm guilty of not taking that advice, because once you get in a roll, it's actually quite quick. It doesn't take you as long. If you've got to do, 100 links each side, and you're pinning and doing it. And I remember when I did the metal one, which is it's metal pins, metal tracks, and you got to put the rubber blocks in as well, when I did the Chieftain. And I thought, right, I'll tell you what I'll do a bit at a time. But actually, I did it in one, because it didn't take that long. Once you get in a roll and you get in sort of, a bit of muscle memory in the old hands of what you're doing with it, it was really, really quite straightforward, and no problems at all. So, yes.
Yeah, it's one of them things you tend to put off, but once you get going, actually, it's not that painful. Again, if you're doing tiger tracks or perhaps, bigger track links, that it's fine. When you get to Panzer Is and perhaps these Panzer IIs, they are a bit fiddly, but I say once you get a run going, you gain a bit of a rhythm and you just roll with it, don't you?
Yeah, that's it. Oh, well, that's a bit of news. Crazy Kit Builder says, speaking of Thrall models, they're going to start taking orders again. So are they back again, are they?
Who's that?
Thrall. Thrall Tracks?
Yeah, they've been taken over, haven't they?
Oh, right, okay.
Yes, because I presume it's like one guy, weren't it, from Hungary who was doing it. So I presume he's sold the moulds off to whoever else has bought them. So, yeah. I hope they clean them up a bit because it was showing their age.
They were getting a bit, flashy. Let's face it. So, anyway, Lindsay says, nice additions with the name titles below. Very professional. That's just me messing about. Question. Will gluing the ends of the track pins take away the workable feature?
Not if you're careful, no. Less is more.
Yes.
With that, you only want to drop a super glue, just hold the pin in. Sometimes it's friction fit and you don't need it.
Yeah.
But even for all models with air wires, they advise just to drop a little bit of super glue on one end. Probably the thicker stuff's better than the thin stuff, because obviously that'll just capillary reaction straight into your bit. But obviously super glue as well is not that strong. It is and it isn't. So again, a little bit of tweaking. But yeah, a bit of careful glue and you'll be absolutely fine. Bob, we'll soon know, won't we, when I do them?
Yes, very true.
when I ain't got workable, as long as it's the shape of the sprocket and everything, I'm not that bothered. Oh dear, sorry. Come on, dog, go out of the way because I just trod on you.
Right, I am going to do a bit of a wash job.
Go on then.
So just to bring you up to speed, I'll show you the other one in a minute. The Viking, how that's going. If I just grab the camera a second. Sorry, wrong one. That's it. Want to go here. So you might remember we deckled it last week. Decals are all on. They've gone down. Really nice. No problems with them. Couple of coats of setting solutions. I've had loads of questions about it. Like, how soon after do you put the next coat of setting solution? Literally when it's dry. When it's dry and there's no shininess at all, you can do it. Now, I haven't had a perfect run with this because I've managed to stick my finger in it. When it was soft with setting solution, I've done that to it. But again, that's nothing to worry about because we're going to weather it. So we will take care of that little defect, shall we say. But yes, so that'll be absolutely fine. So this has had a satin coat right the way over it, just to keep it all universal and nice, but mainly to give a bit of texture over the decals as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to give it a coat of dark dirt wash. I know it's boring and it's what I do, but because it works. All right. The only thing is I've lost my brush. So I'm slightly concerned because I have lost the one brush I keep separate for using it for the washes. I've managed to lose it somewhere in the chaos of everything. So I'm going to use a different brush. So dark dirt clay wash. You've seen me do this a million times before. Shake it to wake it. Think of it of the old, what drink was it? Kiora? No, what was the one we used to shake it to wake it? Orangina.
Orangina, was it? That was it.
That was the one. So I make a puddle down in here, but always decant it. Because the thing is, if this gets a contaminant, the wash goes all gritty and horrible and all the rest of it. All right, so with that done, all we do, we take the glasses so I can see what I'm doing. We take wash, and then we're just going to brush this liberally everywhere on this. All right, right the way over it. And then we're just going to let it dry. So usual thing, we're going to go everywhere. So this isn't like miss anywhere. We go right over windows, we go over joins and doors, absolutely everything. The only thing you might not want to do is wheel wells and stuff, because maybe you're going to go in there with the wheels, something a bit nicer. But make sure you go leading edges of wings, trailing edges, and absolutely everywhere. So the important thing for going everywhere is so you don't get any clean spots, because if you get a clean spot, it's very difficult to weather it, because obviously this will get caught in the texture. And as you've probably seen when I did the, well, members would have seen, but non-members won't have. But when I did the Viking, you can see how well the texture really, really works with it. Again, if this is your first time with the wash, I highly recommend you do it over a more glossy surface, because this will get caught in the texture. And people then go, oh, your wash is stuck. Well, it's not stuck, it's just caught in the texture of your paint. Or the surface, I should say, around your paint area and stuff. All right, so we're just going to come around in here. Obviously, we're going to avoid the wheel well. I'm just going to go across. What we do down one side, down the back. We'll come under here. If it does go gritty on you, honestly, don't panic. It's still going to work, especially if you're going to be scrubbing it around like we'll do on this one. But you can add a couple of drops of washing up liquid. That normally breaks the surface tension enough to be able to just get it off the way you need it and get it smooth and going around and all of that stuff. So we just work our way to the side. But obviously on here you've got mixed. We've got raised details, we've got recessed details. and we've got everything in between. So we're just trying to work our way to the side, and then just down in here. And again, if you don't want it in a particular area, just be a little bit more careful. But if you do get it anywhere, chances are it'll wipe away. Just going to swap all this liberally around in here. And then just, oops, just down in here. Don't need it thick, but obviously you want to give it good coverage. Right away over, and then you have to figure a way of holding it to put a little bit more on, a tiny bit more, unscrew bottle. That's it on the end. And then what we do, we just let this dry. So drying time, you can speed it up if you want to do with a hairdryer on a cool setting and all things like that, but normally it will dry quite naturally on its own in here anyway, with the studio lights in around about 20 minutes. And you go through just like that, and at the same time you can do the other areas as well. So we've got these doors, because we want the doors to be weathered and everything just in the same standard. So you can go across just like this. We just do these ones as well. Just go down in these. And again, it's all water safe, so it's water soluble, so you can clean all of this up with just water. So it's not an oil or anything nasty or anything else like that. It's in, so you get it all over your hands, and then you grab a cloth. And then literally, we'll just let that dry, as simple as that. Nothing else more to it. As I say, drying times in here is about 20 minutes, but you can leave this overnight, and that's normally what I do as well. So if you're in a situation perhaps where, you know, you finish your modelling, do it, come back days later, and you can take it all off afterwards. All right, but once it's dry, it will rehydrate and go back. The other thing as well we've been working on is this. So this is our Viking. We've been doing a lot of bit of post shading, a little bit of corrosion control work on this one. So post shading on this right the way through, going through. So she's looking really nice now. So next up for this one will be oils. So that's my job for tomorrow. We're going to be coming in here with oils. So we'll be using washes, letting them dry, stippling techniques, flicking techniques, various different other ones down in here to get the Viking looking really messy and gnarly. So we're trying to do that one. And as I say, same time doing that, we have been doing the wings. So we've got the wings done as well. So they're all messy and gnarly. And all of this grime you can see on here is the wash. And again, we've done other things. So we've done the engines as well. So these have got sort of control work onto there. And we got the tail. But just to show, like this grime on here, this dirty colour is actually the wash. And then obviously this is the base colour you can see coming through afterwards. So again, it's a good way of sort of bouncing it back and forth with those ones. So yes, good job. So we'll literally let that dry, and then we can come back and we'll get it off. If it's not drying quick enough, I'll speed it up with an airbrush. Just air blowing over it will do the job. So yes. There we go. At least my cough's better.
It's getting better. Eventually.
Yes. Yes, getting there. It's only been a month. So yes. Right. Okay, that's pop that on. That is on. T-Rex 3D printed tracks. Really good, are they?
Yep.
Didn't realise the T-Rex had tracks.
Yeah.
Got little legs. So Jim says he's been doing his own practicing and experimenting with the Flory Models thick washes. Jolly good product. Thank you. The biggest difference when people ask about what is the difference between the two, honestly, is the way that they work is slightly different. Obviously, at the end of the day, they're both water soluble. So as soon as you go near it with any type of water, they're going to rehydrate and they're going to move. The difference is the thick one is designed to grip a lot more. So I had a couple of people talk to me at the show, and they were saying, like, why would you ever use the thick stuff, or why would you ever use the thin stuff? And like I said before, if you want to have something like we've done down in here, the thin wash is a lot more effective because it flows. It's designed to go off and flow into all the areas. If it goes into a panel line, it will zip off. The capillary action will take it. The thick one is not designed to do that. The thick one's designed to touch and stick. It's not designed to flow anywhere. And because obviously on something like this, you want it to be flowing all the panel lines and things like that. It's more of a wash. The thick wash, literally whatever it touches, it just sticks, which I have got, which I can show you. For instance, I just put a blob on the roof of this just to do it like that. So I popped a blob just down in here and it just sits there, doesn't move. Where I put a wash on here and it's naturally gone off. That's it, that's the wash. Just went off and zipped around on its own. This, put it there, it just doesn't go anywhere. So again, if you're using it for doing dioramas, stuff like that, and obviously we used it on here on the roof when we demoed this the other week, you know, that's the biggest difference. So if you think of doing armour, dioramas, stuff like that, that's where the thick wash really comes into its own, because it's good and strong. And obviously if you're using it for winter camo or heavy weathering and stuff, it doesn't run off, it doesn't just all collect at the bottom. So if you're doing armour, spray it up the side, it just sticks, doesn't drain down and doesn't pool up, and you don't get big beads and lumps of it at the bottom and stuff like that. That's the biggest difference to it.
I was using it on the Land Rover for the mud underneath, and it was ideal for that.
Neil says, out of curiosity, what are those sanders Matt's using?
These? They're just files. Just
normal files.
I think they're actually Itileris. But I've got to deliver it. Yeah, these little Itileri files. To be honest with you, I actually don't. I have got some sanders here, but I don't know where they are. Some sanding sticks. So that'll do for cleaning up this today.
Do you need a clear coat before applying the wash? No. So the only thing I do say is that you can just put it straight down over any surface, but said if you don't know the wash, you need to understand a little bit how it works. Always put it over a gloss or a satin finish. Do not put it over a matte, and don't put it over a dead matte finish, because it will get caught in that texture. And then it's not that the wash isn't coming off, it's just you're not wiping it away because it's down in the texture of the paint. So from that point of view, I highly recommend obviously using it over a gloss and satin finish to start with. The reason I say about sealing your model down is twofold. One is obviously to protect your decals, because if the wash gets underneath the carrier film, you'll never get rid of it because it's underneath the carrier film. So if you've got like lettering, like the aircraft registration, things like that, if that wash tracks under a panel line and then it leaches, it's going to actually just make a complete mess under the clear film, which you're going to be able to see. It's not so bad if it's gone under, you know, a decal, but if it's under the carrier film, you're in trouble. You're not going to get it out. So it's always better to seal those decals in so nothing can get underneath. The other thing as well, naturally, decals themselves are really glossy. So if you don't seal them in and you put a wash over it, when you're wiping the wash away, what can happen is that the actual just wipes cleanly straight off, because it's like gloss off the decal, but the rest of it around it's really nasty and grimy. And obviously you're trying to weather everything together. So you're trying to weather the decal and your paintwork, because if naturally they would weather together. So that's why I say about doing it with it. So yes, I did, Paul. I used the 3rd gen matte finish, which is more like a satin, which is this one, which is my go-to for this type of stuff at the moment. But this is just the matte finish, matte varnish, but to be honest, it's more like satin. They do what is it, ultra matte?
Ultra matte, which is matte,
which is dead flat.
Really
flat. Right. So I used it with air thinners, so worked very nicely indeed. But you can probably see already this is drying off. It's going, it'll take a little bit of time, and then obviously we'll flip it over as well to get it underneath. But the other way to look at it as well, when you're building up the weathering, think of it like your car. You know, when it's over a shiny surface, it just falls off. As soon as you've got something to grip onto, it sticks even better. Yeah, X22 clear would work with it as well, no problem at all. So yes, it's nice to meet you as well, Adrian, at the show on Saturday. And said nice to meet the other members as well.
Right, hello chaps. Alice, this is the 148 Revel Phantom FGR2 the same kit as the Asagawa F4J? No. Completely different airplane, aren't they, Phil?
Yeah, so the F4J is just the US Navy version, which is, you know, standard. But the FGR2 is the Spey engined or Rolls-Royce engined Phantom, and it's completely different. So it doesn't look it until you look at one next to another one. But the intakes on the Spey Phantoms are a lot bigger. The nozzles are completely different down the end. Also, there's blow-in doors halfway or very much down the back of the actual Phantom itself, which open up. And also underneath the Phantom, it's a lot more, well, not that way, this way underneath. She's got more curves, shall we say, because the engines are bigger.
She's thick.
She's a thick bird, is the Spey engine Phantoms. So yeah, that's the biggest difference. So there is quite a lot of differences. Subtle differences as well with the cockpit, clearly, and there's subtle differences obviously on the tails and various things with them. But the F4J does not look like an FGR2 or the K Phantoms as well. So it's a different lady. We only bought, I don't know how many we actually bought, but we didn't buy many more. But we bought them as a stopgap, the F4Js, whilst we were waiting for the Tornado to come online for down in the Falklands. And famously, they dropped one in the San Francisco Bay when it was being flown from storage back to the place to be fitted out and to everything to the UK standard. But having watched and seen and spoken to people who've flown them, apparently they were saying that the F4J, she was faster, she was slightly quicker, and she could do more Gs than the FGR2. So it was one of those ones where, being British, we had to try and better it, which in a lot of ways we did, clearly, like with the Harrier and Sea Kings and things like that. But I think with the Phantom, probably would have been better off just as an F4J, really.
Stuck with the Pratt and Whitneys, weren't he?
Yes. Was it the J79 engines for the American ones? And obviously we had the Rolls-Royce Spey. So, thanks for the info on what surface to apply the washers over. I've been using it over a dead flat test model and we use a gloss finish. So the easiest way to look at it, if you go from glossy to dead flat, depending on how that is, will depend on the finish you get. Just think of it as a sanding stick. I've done a thing before and we spoke about textures of paint and stuff. But, you know, if you think about it really coarse, if you used to put a wash on there, you try and get it off. You're just getting caught. It's all in that texture. But obviously if it's a polishing stick, you can wipe it all away because you can just get to it. So it just gets caught in that texture. And then obviously, depending on how moist your cloth is, which when we take this off, I'll show you, depending if it's dry, you'll get hardly anything of. If it's a really wet, warm cloth, and a sponge especially, you'll get pretty much 99% of it all off because it absorbs and pulls it away. So by just having a slightly mildly moist cloth, that what will happen is that you'll hardly rehydrate any of the clay, which means most of it will stay behind and it will stick and give you a nice grimy finish. Speaking of seagulls, because James is saying the roof of me thing looks like a giant seagull had a poo on it. I was driving back on Sunday night from Telford, merrily making my way past, I think we was coming past Gloucester, and in the fields to our right, you could see about 8 million seagulls. And we were joking about, it's just like a scene from an end of the world type scenario where all the birds are legging it.
Yeah.
And literally, they all came across the motorway and then decided to dump. And my car got absolutely hammered. It felt like we'd been shot at because it was coming down so much. So when you're doing clip 70 on the nail, miles an hour going back, literally it was like, and it was like exploding over the windscreen as well as it was going back. Actually being strafed. So when I got back here, what happened was I came back to Devon, but then we had to go straight down to Cornwall, so we dumped a load of stuff here, then went down to Cornwall. I actually got the hose pipe off and rinsed off the car because it was absolutely covered. So yes,
it was waiting for the Merc driver to come back.
It was. Look out for the Merc coming down. So, yeah. But yeah, it got absolutely horrendous. It was. It just looked like one of those films when they got like, a big earthquake's going to happen and all the birds leg it. It was like that. I assume they were in a field nearby where the farmer's probably ploughing and they're after all the worms. But yes. But yeah, it looked like I was being targeted. I'm not being funny. I was like, yep, they're after me, clearly. So, right. This is drying, as you can see. You can see how it's drying now. Just a few little spots. What I'll do, I'll flip it over because the underside will take a little bit more to dry. So we'll just leave it here. Need a time lapse and do it. But yes. Anyway, Matt, how's it going? Which bit you're working on?
We are building the gun mechanism and barrel.
Very nice.
I'm just trying to work out what was where, to be honest.
Are you going to tell everyone the difference between Mr. Cement and Mr. Cement SP?
That's super fast, really fast, because normally I use S, which is quick. It is a quick cement, so I don't know why you need the SP, which is it's evaporated before you put it on. Yeah. This is I suppose this is equivalent of white top. This has actually been discontinued now. It's not as thick as white top.
I was going to say, how would that stack up to normal Tamiya white top?
It's not, I don't think it's, hold on, excuse me, it's just made me sneeze, that smell. Oh God, it's nowhere near as thick. It's a bit, I don't think it's the same at all, to be honest. Because the white top's a bit more of a resin-based glue, isn't it?
Yeah, the white top one is resin-based.
Have you got a white top there? Because I haven't got one here.
Yeah, I got one here. Well, I have all types. Let me get all my
liquid cement.
Do you know what? I haven't got any quick set here. Where's my quick set gone? But yeah, I've got here. So this is the resin one.
Yeah.
Which is really, really thick.
It is. It's proper. If you're doing big joints like wing joints, fuselage, halves, I don't know, anything like, it's really, really good.
But also, this smells like the old-fashioned, tube glue rather than this. So this one here, they say it's a resin setting one, where obviously all the others are like weld action glues.
Yeah, this is a weld action glue. Like I say, it has now been discontinued as far as I know. So
yes,
I don't think it will be back, because that's kind of taken over. I think Mr. Cement S and SP. Yeah. So I presume that was the original one they did.
Yeah, and you can get SP black, isn't it? You get that one.
Yeah, with a dye in it. I'm sure there's another one as well. Can't remember. But yeah, I don't mind them, to be honest. I quite like the cement glues. I've got the Tamiya one here as well, and actually I've got an AK one, which is.
To be honest, all the extra thins are pretty much the same.
Yeah, they all do the job.
I
think the only difference is the brush in it. This has got a bit of a longer brush.
Yeah.
I think from the Tamiya one, if I remember.
Yeah, the Tamiya one never quite makes.
Yeah, there you go. So
you have to pull it down a bit.
But do the job. That's all you want in it. So you can pick your poison, as they say, and whatever suits you. Suits you,
yes.
sir.
Suits you, sir. Suits you, definitely.
Yeah. Afternoon to Yost is in.
Yost is in, a dream builder.
Hello, yeah.
Hello.
I'm sorry, but that is hilarious. What, Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds is hilarious.
My car being shat over.
Or Phil's being crapped on by.
Literally, the way it was coming down, because it was hitting the car. It was literally like you're being shot at.
So you got crapped on by a flock of seagulls?
Yes. Literally. A whole squadron.
Yeah.
But yeah, I literally got absolutely hammered. So, thanks. But yeah, literally got back here. We went through quite a heavy shower just north of Bristol going home. And then we went through another little bit of rain, I don't know, just as we came into Devon. And I thought I would have rinsed it off, because obviously I had my widgie wipers on to clear the windscreen. But looking down on the bonnet, it was still absolutely covered. And obviously the roof, it's got a glass roof on this thing. So looking up, it was like, Jesus, it's all still there. It didn't rinse it off. So anyway, got back here. I had to get the hose pipe and my broom out and give it a scrub.
Nice. Afternoon to Tom.
Good afternoon.
Tom Sunley is in, and MYK. Good evening.
Indeed.
It is good evening.
It is. It's getting evening time. Gets dark early these days. Question, Phil. Have you thought about a 3D printed airbrush holder added to your merch? I think it's too big.
I'll tell you what. Sorry to interrupt you, mate.
Big. Go on.
There is loads and loads of free files for them. As well, like loads of free files, because I'm going to print one off just to put on the desk if I'm filming at home. So I've got to spin around. Just Yeah, there's loads of them. Like I say, so whether people would actually buy them, I don't know.
Yeah. But the trouble you've got is obviously to print the glue holders like this, it takes just over 2 hours, and you can do 3 at once. But if I do these holders, the ones for these take 3.5 hours, and I can only do 2 at once. But if you're doing something tall, for instance, when I've been doing the bits for the Y-wing, that's been taking 21 hours. So yeah, it's a bit of a long time for it. So probably not on things like that. Speaking of which, teaser for members, we're in the design process of this year's limited edition members mug thing. Well, it's not a mug this year. Well, it is a mug. It's a travel mug. But I'm waiting now because I've just signed off on the design, and I'm waiting for it to do me a sample one, and then I'll sign it off and we'll get them mass produced. So they should be on sale by the end of the month. This will be the 2024 limited edition travel mug to keep your beverages warm on those cold nights during the winter and cool ones in the summer. So yes.
Nice.
No, Paul, I'm not putting it in the oven. This is just cold air blowing nicely down onto it just to speed it up. Obviously, it's a thin coat, it dries really, really quickly, but when it's a thick coat, like under here, where it's been cooling up a little bit, it can take a little bit longer to go. What you want to do, though, is make sure that you don't have this. If you was to wipe it off like this is now, what would happen is it would just give you completely white, totally clean. So it needs to be dry, otherwise it won't. It will help when we do it, you'll see it as we start to move this round. If you haven't got any bits you have missed, it will backfill it a bit for you. But you need to make sure it's dry, because if you come along with a cloth, it will suck it out the panel line, you have nothing left in the panel line. And obviously the main part you want it is the panel lines.
Afternoon, Stefan. He's in. Did you have a good time at Telford? I guess you already covered that, so I'll rewatch. Couldn't make it early today. Yes, we did actually. Very good, thank you.
Lovely time. Yes, good time.
Yeah. Lovely time had by all.
Yes. What's Tim say? My printer is 2K, which gives me 0.05 50 microns X and Y results. Does have 28 microns on the 28. Make a worth the difference. I'm the wrong person to ask, Tim, because this is the only printer I've ever had. I've only ever had a Saturn II, so I wouldn't know on that one, to be honest.
I tell you why.
I have the feeling, to be honest, I have the feeling that I think printers are going to be like airbrushes. So you're going to have people, and they're going to have their favourite manufacturers and brands, and they're going to stick to them, just like you get, H&S people, Iwata, who wear Fenger in our case.
Yeah.
This is a Fenger, just saying. And no, it's not. This is the PS270. Sorry, I had the Fenger out earlier. But yeah, it's one of those. I think that's what's going to happen. But would you make any difference between those type of microns of difference? Oh, look, my order's just racked up.
Oh, what it is?
Somebody's going to answer that.
Mine hasn't. Mine's late.
Right, hold on. Hold the fort, Matt. I'll be back in 2.
Yeah. No, I'm just going to answer Henry's. I just use it to the highlighter just to circle what I've obviously used, because hopping backwards and forwards on these builds, I forget where I'm at. Where I am. So yeah, that's all I do it for. I've seen people like saying make notes and write all over them, but yeah, mine's just to keep my brain going of where I'm actually at the minute. So, what are you barking at? Sure. I used to hate it because I used to hate sort of like my instructions being damaged, if you want, soiled. But now I'm not so bothered. It's like, yeah, just like I say, I like to keep track of where I am for whichever building. So.
Okay, I'm back.
Are you back? What you got? Oh, good.
Hold on, give it a sec. My earpiece needs to connect.
All right.
Come on, connect.
Is it a big order?
Sorry, I went out of range.
That's all right.
Yes, that was definitely Lola barking.
Yeah, and my dog.
Oh, come on. Come on. Hold on, I can't hear you at the moment if anyone's talking. Oh. Perfect. Okay. Oh God, sorry, hold on guys, just got a small technical hitch.
That's probably a good idea, Henry. That is. I never thought of that, but yes. Yeah. Have a metal label stopping, right. Very, very true. Right. Let's see where we're at. That's the trouble with these little budsy users. Once you've gone out of range, they struggle to reconnect. So... let's see if he's back. Are you back? No. Just get this little part on here and then I'll be back to chat.
Right, sorry, I'm back. Sorry, my earphone's playing up.
Yeah, I was just saying that's the problem. If you go out of range,
yeah,
the bugger to reconnect.
I know it won't reconnect. I went out of range because I still had it in the ear, and now it won't reconnect.
Yeah.
So hold on, let's see if I can get it to connect. I'll get it to connect. We'll be right. Hold on. She keeps on saying pairing, connecting.
Yeah.
But I don't think she actually is. Let me see if I can get that to go again. Come on.
Right. I'll put that over there to dry. Question, Matt, are you building the Marder straight out of the box? No, I'm not. No, I'm using aftermarket tracks and probably drive sprocket and wheels, and then I'm going to put some, well, not aftermarket, but probably some 3D printed, or if I can find in my space box, stowage, and aftermarket figures probably. So.
Oh, Jesus. Drop my AirPods now, falling out of my head.
God. He's having a mare. Okay. He's having a bit of a mare. Can you still hear us?
I'm back.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, no, I've got you.
All right, okay. David's got a question.
Go.
Got to ask us at the meet and greet, how did we all first get acquainted with each other? Ooh, that's a tough one. Through Flory Models, basically.
It was all through this, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, basically, the way it worked back in the day, I think it was you guys used to help out at various shows and stuff, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And the friendship.
John.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, John lives up the road from. Well, say up the road. He's 50 miles up the road from me. Mm. And John used to come down to my members' meets.
And we used to do a members' meet up north.
And we used to have a members' meet up north as well. So you guys all got together up there. We used to have a Flory Models members' meet up north, and we used to have one down south.
Yeah.
And that's how it sort of really all came about, wasn't it?
And then you started to have Barbies in the summer. The Flory Summer Barbecue, and then obviously after that, it kind of just evolved, didn't it?
I think that's where it really came from, wasn't it? It was that we did the barbecue. Yeah. I used to throw a members' barbecue every summer.
Yeah.
And it was a free-for-all, just turn-up job. And you guys stayed down here, didn't you? Stayed locally.
Never went over.
And literally that's where it sort of all came from.
Yeah.
It all blossomed.
It's, I don't know if you want to call it luck or whatever, but we just all sort of clicked, didn't we?
Yeah, no, we all just get on really, really well together.
I've got a delivery.
Oh, look, we're all on deliveries now. Well, look, I'll tell you what, I'll give you lot an exclusive of what's just turned up, which I wasn't actually waiting for anything to turn up like this until about 2 weeks' time. But we have here, and I've already got some crap on it, sorry. I'll show you the other side. We have here This will be available to all soon. So this is just a standard Flory Models mug. It's not a limited edition members only one. That's going to be something else this year. But this is just going to go into our merch store, priced at £10.50. And it's the Flory Models. There we go, a bit better. Flory Models mug. And these I was not expecting to turn up for another 2 weeks. So they've turned up incredibly soon for some reason.
What's that?
It's just the general mug. That's why I haven't really spoken about it, because I wasn't expecting it to come in.
All right, okay.
So, but anyway, we've got a couple hundred of these done. So it's not like you have to wait for them to be done and all the rest of it. But members, as I say, this isn't this year's limited edition mug. This is just going to be a general one for sale on the site. So, but yes, there we go. It's nice black. To be honest, it is exactly the same as our original one that we did. So, but this is just the members one. So yes, if you want to grab one of those, it'll be up on the site soon, or soonish.
Yeah.
I will get it up. But yeah, very nice. Apart from I've got this one's covered in stuff. But yeah, that's what's turned up. That's what I didn't know what was turning up. It was them.
There you go.
So yes. Right, let me just dry this bad boy down a bit more. Yes, well, Paul, in the early days, that's when we used to have it like a fun day. So we used to have shooting, RC tanks.
Fishing.
Studio was open anyway. Fishing trip, went on a fishing trip one year. The famous fishing trip.
Fancy dress.
Fancy dress. Yeah, we did the fancy dress one. Yeah.
What's my dog's name? Is that? Is that? Or what dog is it? She's a cockapoo and her name's Luna.
My buddy.
Or Looney, or whatever.
Looney Lou.
Looney, isn't it, mate? He's a lot more spaniel than poodle, let's put it that way. These things are just off Amazon.
I've converted him. Well. I've converted him. They're dead handy.
The only way we had a set of Optibizers I did have a thingy one. They're quite expensive, but to be honest with you, I'm finding these because I haven't got the strong lenses in them. Because the other ones are really for close work, but actually I have no idea what I've done with them. It must be in the drawer or hanging up somewhere. I have no idea. It used to be on the back of this camera here, but
yeah,
I must have moved them. But yeah, I've just for filming, because the thing is, when I've been filming doing my vid, my head seems to be in the way a lot because it's like I have to be that close to see.
Yeah.
And you think with my glasses, you wouldn't need any others, would you? But afraid I do.
I must admit, I've got my reading glasses, and just recently I've been using my magnifiers a lot more.
Yeah.
And I don't know what power I've got in these. Probably 5 or something. Christ, I can't read that without these. It's a bit like chicken and the egg here. So these are par. What am I using these days? These are par 2.5s I'm using. Because these ones here, I think these are 2 or 1.5.
Yes, I don't know what. I've just pulled them out because I had a different set of lenses clipped in, and they were, like I say, they were a bit getting my head in the way. I didn't need them that powerful. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for the love for the dog. She's not normally at work with me, so I've got her today because my other half's at clients all day. So she would have been left, and she don't get left very well. So I said, I'll bring her here. So you've been terrorising everybody, ain't you?
Yes. Saw a video on YouTube and someone paid 20 quid for a pair at Telford. I thought you've been ripped off, mate. It depends. You can get, these are the cheap Amazon ones I've got. But you can buy the proper version of them, like everything. This is like the Chinese knockoff. But there is ones that have clearly got better design. Because I'll tell you, these break after a few months because they snap in this bit here. And like this is my third pair I've gone through. So this bit in here, because they're constantly pressing outwards, it stresses and they always break here. And then once they snap, it's crap, you know?
Yeah.
They're
a bit of a disposable item, aren't they?
They are almost disposable, but they're only like 7 quid off Amazon, so...
I think, like, you use yours all the time, so they do get hammered.
Yeah.
and then like say I've got a pair here because they're cheap, and I've got a pair at home. So she's dog's 18 months, so still a bit of a puppet. Can you show us your printer, please? I can't show you mine because it's in the front office. It's a Saturn II in it. We've got.
Yeah, Saturn II.
I've got a Mars. I've got a little Mars 2 over there, which is the small one, and then it's just a Saturn II. To be honest with you, they're on offer again at the minute. Have you seen?
No, but they got their Black Friday sales any second, haven't they? Amazon.
And then what's the other Saturn that they do? Because that's on sale.
They do the Mars, the Saturn, and whatever the other one is. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a Saturn Ultra. There's a Saturn something else. Because me and Andy were looking today, and that's on sale. It's about £400. It should be 500 and something.
All right.
So yes, I tell you what, bloody heavy when she sits on your knee. Here we go.
Yeah. Hold on, I can show you my one on a thumbnail. Hold on, filters, sort by categories, live shows, filter.
But yeah, the difference between the Mars 2 and the Jupiter is obviously bedside. You can get so much more on it. Hence, that was double because it was one, two halves, should I say, and I split it. But yeah, and it printed it okay. And these holders here, you can get 3 on the bed, which is obviously I couldn't even get one on the Mars bed. I don't think I think I could get one of these on. I couldn't get something else on it. I can't remember what it was, but it just won't fit. So.
And as you've seen on Thursday night's show, I'm currently printing a 1/32 Y-wing on mine. I've got one engine to do, but I deliberately didn't do it today because people complain about the foghorn noise. But this is what I've got. We've both got. So that's the printer. I've done a video. It's only members because I don't know what I'm talking about. But there we go. You can see it. There it is. So this is when I very first got it. It was still shiny and out the wrapper and haven't used it. So, and then obviously I did it where we went through and then I showed about, let's pass forward. There we go. Look, resin going in. First time I'd ever used it. So what I'm doing is watching another YouTube video. Hold on, where is he? Where's the bit where it comes out? Here we go. That's in the cleaner, and then yes, I did the demo with the rooks. If it's going to load through, come on. Doesn't like streaming everything at the same time. There we go. And that's
the rook, the famous rook.
So you get that as the test print, if you like, right the way through, and then obviously I go through continuing it on. We talk about obviously using the curing stations and all the various bits and pieces as well. So, but yes, very nice it was too. There you go.
Hello.
Into the curing station. So, but I've done that video. We also did first prison. Where's the one with the follow-up? 3D printing a few weeks on. There we go. So I did a quick follow-up after I got the hang of it a bit. There you go. So I printed all that lot back in the day. So yeah, it's one of those ones where I said before, 3D printing. We spoke about it a lot at the show, didn't we?
Yes.
I think it's one of those areas where it's the future. You can't stop it. It's going to happen, and everyone's going to have one. Like Matt, you said about it's like having an airbrush, isn't it? Or somebody I was talking to said it's like airbrushes. You know, at the time they were seen as this world magical thing. Now everyone uses one. It'll be exactly the same 3D printing. And if you're into sci-fi and stuff, as I say, I'm doing this Y-wing at the moment, which is Mahoosing. Just to give you an idea.
I was going to say, show us the Y-wing because I've not seen it.
Y-wing. So Y-wing is coming along. Where are we? We want Solo 3. So this is the 3D printed. That's the top. Looks just like that. This is one of the engines.
Look at that.
So that's where the engine will join in. So that's the engine. Cut it open to let some of the resin out because I had a bit of drainage problems. And then just to show you how good these things can get, there we go. This is the body sections of it. This is the underside. That's the top. And obviously I will do a full video on all of this. I know lots of people message me about it. But I intend to do this as a live build. There you go, that's the belly. The belly of the beast. But the panel line is beautiful. Really, really nice.
It is nice.
Very, very crisp. Very nice. Hold on, where's a few extra bits? So we got bottom of the spoiler areas. Looks like that. This is the top, the nose for the engines. Very nice indeed.
It is. So, will you build the fighter range all in the same scale?
Well, to be honest with you, my plan of action is I'm going to have a go with this one because I have got a TIE fighter and I've got this one and they're all roughly the same size, so that would be quite cool together. But I might actually redo this one in 1/18 scale, 3-foot monster, and then if I did, I'd light it. I'd do LED lighting for it and all the rest of it, because this particular print is designed up to 1/18 scale, so it's designed to be about 3 foot long. And to be honest, I've got a B-wing as well, and that's bloody massive as well. So, but yeah, so they're all things I want to do with the 3D printer at some point. Like I explained on last week's show, what I will do, it will be a little bit of a long burner program. So it will be one of these ones where I'll continue to do this type of stuff with you guys, and we'll do model kits and plastic, and then the resin one will just carry on in the background over, you know, perhaps 6 months or so. And so we'll be working on a little bit of everything. Obviously it'll be full members, proper detailed in-depth stuff, and then obviously you guys on the YouTube shows, the free shows, will get the sort of watered down version of it.
Yeah.
So that's the
join
plan.
the site, that's what he's saying.
Join the site, in other words. If you want the full version with all the specs and details and everything else, join the site. So like and subscribe.
So for somebody who's not been around for a while, he's asking why you don't do the Sanders.
Well, what planet have they been on? We haven't done it for 3 years.
He's put on, to be fair, he says he's been away from the Flory, Flory family for about a year or so. So what happened with the Sander range? Price becoming an issue, or the reason, or other reason for the discontinuation?
Basically, 3 years ago, the price started to go through the roof. Then COVID hit, and we couldn't get a shipping container out of South Korea, to be honest. And all the rest of it. So the only way we could do it was to pay incredible amounts of money to get them air freighted out. And obviously Sanders, when you're buying 100,000 at a time, they take up a lot of room. That's normally why they go in a container and get shipped in. So at that point, it was a case of that it wasn't physically viable to do it anyway. And then the price started just to go through the roof. As I said, instead of paying £3,000 for a container, £20,000 if you wanted one. Instead of paying maybe to make a manufacturer sander 5p plus the VATs and all the rest of it go with it, you're looking at around about 20p. So it was just that thing where the cost of the materials was going through the roof, transportation costs was going through the roof. So for us to make a pack of sanders to be viable, to obviously not just for me to sell, but obviously for our stockists to sell, because obviously they need to make some money as well, and I think people forget that you know, literally they were going to be 12 quid a pack. So at that point, I just took the decision to say, right, there's no physical way people are going to pay £12 a pack. I wouldn't dream of charging £12 a pack for it because it's not worth that. But so I said, we'll just cease production at that point. So literally we ceased production and that was it. Will they come back? Don't know. As I said, if the market was right and everything, the prices returned to normal, we could get the shipping sorted out and obviously the lead times and a large amount of cash which is needed to start these things off again, then yeah, we would probably think about doing it. But at the moment, there is no plans on bringing back the Sanders.
No, there you go.
And you can put that on my headstone.
We will.
I saw once where a woman, somebody sent me it, it was very good. And it was about, she would never give up her cookie recipe over a dead body, right? So they put it on her headstone. Which I thought was actually very good.
Henry's new to the Flory Model channel and he's enjoying it. Well, thank you for joining us. I'm glad you're you're enjoying it as well.
Yes, no. But yeah, welcome. I will have to say as well, we've had so many returnees back to the site over this last month. So yeah, no, it's actually been really, really nice to have so many familiar faces and old faces come back to the site, you know, and all the rest of it. Clearly, we always get people leave during the summer because they're doing other things, which is totally, you know, understandable. But no, it's really nice to get so many of you coming back and all the rest of it. We've been here all the time.
Yeah.
So, just before we go, I'll try and get this off. I was trying to do this a bit earlier, but with everything going on.
Oh, you need to do a PM thing.
I will. Hold on. Let me just do this and we'll do a PM and then I'll show you about taking off the wash.
Yes. And hopefully I can get rid of this dead weight on my lap because she's bloody heavy.
Okay. Right. Over on the PM store. Obviously, this is pmmodelsuk.com. This is our specials page that we've been updated this weekend. And as you can see, still got the Phantoms down in there. We've got a 410. So if you don't want an Airfix, 70-second little thing that no one knew anything about, including us, I'm not saying. But if you do want a bigger scale, 48 scale one, you've got the Meng one there, which is a very nice, tasty little thing. Wellington we've seen before, Spitfire, Messerschmitt we've seen before. And obviously we've got the paint sets. But we do have as well another classic kit as well from Meng. And it's a really nice kit. It's the 72nd Delta Dart.
Yes.
Which is the 106. And that is a really, really sharp kit. That is very nice. The Bradley, which I've built. It's a full video build on that as well. Really nice price, 40 quid. Get a lot of plastic for your money. You can see that one as well. It's a really nice kit. And then obviously we've got a Spitfire.
What a surprise.
Still not going to say anything?
Nope.
Okay.
Not a thing.
Anyway, 32nd Hobby Boss Spitfire Mark V. Is it a good kit, Matt?
Great kit.
It is.
Well worth the money, to be honest. No, honestly.
It is for 30 quid. It's a cracking kit.
It's worth the money for what it costs. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
For bang for buck, it's a great kit. Really nice kit.
Yeah.
Oh. And again, we've got the I Love Kit 48 scale Gloucester Gladiator Mark 1.
I've got to say, I don't know much about that. Do you?
No, nor do I. Well, if it's I Love Kit, it's out of the Trumpeter stable,
It's out of the Trumpeter, Hobby Boss, that range, yes. It's old Merit. It's an old Merit kit, isn't it?
It's an old Merit kit, I assume, but I don't know about the 48 scale one. I don't think I've ever seen it.
The ICM 32nd one's a gem of a kit, isn't it? So.
Oh yeah, having built that one, that's a beautiful kit, but I don't know that kit, so I can't judge it at all. I've never seen that one.
Now, my mind's gone blank, but does anybody else do a 48 Gladiator kit? Because
I don't think they do. I think ICM were the only one. So I don't think for a minute that is an ICM kit.
No, because that's 48. There's 32nd, isn't it?
Oh yeah, there's 32nd anyway. But yeah,
and then obviously you've got the little 72nd one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's another. Come on, chat, help me out here.
Anyone in chat? No? Scream now. I can't check our chat. Check our chat just in case somebody in our chat said, because I'm on it.
I'm on the other one. Anyway, it's a Gladiator.
Anyway, it's a lovely kit. Let me just check ours. Pricey right, Coco, please, guys. Roden did a 48 scale. Cheers, Andy. Well done. Andy gets a gold star.
In YouTube chat. Thank you. Yeah, Roden. I think I'd rather build the I Love Kit one, if I'm honest.
Yeah, that's it.
I think that might be a bit easier. But yes, so we've whacked, and obviously the two paint sets have changed because we did have thingy. So you've got a Luftwaffe set and a like a Panzer Aces camouflage colours.
Yes,
which is the model colour range. So if you're into your Vallejo's, there you go.
Vallejo.
Yeah, we're not butcher Spanish. Let's just call it Vallejo.
So we just
Let's
anglicise
it and call it Vallejo, even though we know that's not how it's pronounced.
Still bloody Tamiya though. Right. Anyway,
it is Tamiya, and it'll always be Tamiya.
Yes. So anyway, we've got those ones. New arrivals.
Is nothing yet. Just hold on. Hold your horses.
Haven't been updated yet. Okay, no, so it's still the same.
Mind you, look, we've still got the Sea Dragon.
Beautiful kit. Very nice Sea Dragon. Anyone fancy a jumbo Sea Dragon?
Unfortunately, we've sold out of P47s, as most people seem to have done.
Yes, definitely. They have gone. I know everyone seemed to be carrying one at Telford.
Yes, literally. Yeah, there was. Especially people who were talking to us, which I don't blame them. Good kit.
No, I don't either.
So yeah, we will be getting them more back in, but yes, the initial batch is gone. So we're just waiting for our supplier to get some more, and then we'll get some more. But yes, there's obviously going to be some new stuff coming in there, which will probably be tomorrow, hopefully. Might be a bit interesting. So we can talk about on the PM show anyway. So
cool.
Yeah. Jeff says the ICM do one, but that's 32nd. But it's a great one. I mean, Phil built it. He loved it, didn't you? So it's really nice.
Beautiful kit. Right. Whilst I've got 7 minutes left.
7 minutes.
Got 7 minutes to get this off.
Go on then.
So, The wash is now completely dry. As you can see, it's all got nicely flat. So when you give it a rub, nothing really happens. Obviously, you get a dusty bit coming off because it is clay, all right? So what I always say, to start with, test it. So this is just dry paper towel, bit of plenty or bounty. We give it a rub just to see what's happening, all right? So when we give it a rub to start with, you can see we can take a little bit off, but it's properly on here, and this is not going to come off. This is because it's gone over a satin finish. All right, so that is not going to come off. You could get it off if you've got an old worn out sander. If you give it a very light rub, you can actually take more of it off, and you can take it down in layers, literally, by using a very old worn out sander. But it's a long, winded way and all the rest of it. The easiest way is lick it, so a bit of spit, or you could just use water. All right, this now moistens our paper towel, and now we go along and we go circular motions. And you can see we're taking some away now. So actually what this does, it gives you, as you can see down in here, the panel line wash, but it's also, you can see it in the texture of the surface of the paint. All right, so if I take a little bit off just down in here to show, all right, you can see that you can leave more on. So this area here, we've left a little bit more than we've left here. So we haven't rubbed it quite as hard. All right, and obviously the cloth is becoming dry because the clay, because it's dusty, sticks to this, it dries it out. So again, you've got a nice variable of how much you can take away. So if we just take away a little bit. So if you wanted this to be a really grimy type look to it, you could do it like that. Or you can, if I just grab a clean bit so I can show you, if you wet the cloth quite a lot, then what you can do is you can come in and you can clean it, all of it off. So literally that's down to totally clean now, and that's the original colour. So now you can see the differences. This is a really wet cloth and we've taken it all off, but what it's done, it's left it in the panel lines, but it's taken it pretty much off. 100% of everything else is away. Down in here you can see this is probably left, I don't know, 25% behind. This is probably 50% left behind. So you can see by just how much moisture is on your cloth, how much you hydrate, how much you rub it, you'll take more away. And that's literally it. You can put some of that back. So obviously what you do, you go back to your dirty bit, you grab a bit from somewhere else, and then you can come across here and you can actually start to build it back in. But you can obviously just give this another coat if you wanted to, so forth and so on. So literally you're just going to go round circular motions to start with, and this will rub it into any areas where there isn't any or not enough of the wash around. You might have missed it in a panel line or something else like that. And that's literally what we will do. So we're just going to go around and we're just going to lightly rub and take it off to a level where you want it. So you might want to leave it so it's nice and grimy still. You might want to take it all off until it's totally clean. Exactly the same goes with the underside. So down under here, wet the cloth, hydrate it, and you can maneuver it around. You can see how it maneuvers and it starts to get dragged. If you wanted to, you could literally just say, right, I want it to look really grimy and horrible. Underneath here, it's naval aircraft, it probably would. You could leave it like that. All right. Or you can say, right, wet the cloth quite a bit, give it a good rub. We'll take it back and we'll literally just have a panel line wash. It is literally up to you how much you want to take off, how much you want to leave on. And that's literally the easiest of this. Again, over here we've got this decal. So again, because now we've put this satin finish over it, you can see how it stays dirty on the decal. Now normally it would clean off just like that, but because we've just got a little bit of moisture on here, nothing too much, we can just come in and we can weather up the decal just the same as we're weathering everything else. So everything has that same sort of warm look to it. And again, by just coming around, you can have it really dirty, or as you say, you can have it really quite clean. It's just up to you. And again, want to go in, clean it up a little bit more moisture, more rubbing, and you could have it if you wanted to as a pristine, just panel lines and a little bit of grime, which is probably what we're going to have, roughly around about this. But again, shows you the difference. You go really grimy, clean and just panel lines, something a little bit in between. All right, and that's literally how the wash works. And you're just going to go around absolutely everywhere and then taking it away. But remember, if you take too much off, like we've done here, you can just come in And we can put a little bit of grime and dirt into this just because it's on the cloth from other areas. Just grab it from somewhere else, put it on here, and you can make it a little bit grimy. Clean it off perhaps a little bit more. You could do it in panels, you could do it in different areas, exactly how you want. It's totally up to you. With tight little areas like this, if it's a real pain in the arse to get in there, and let's face it, it probably is, just use a couple of cotton buds. If you wet them, you can then pop them in between the gaps. And to start with, you're just going to come in a little bit too clean in those areas, probably a little bit too much moisture on these. But once we get it in like that, then we can sort of go back and we can mop around. And again, you can just go to a dry one, pick up some junk from somewhere else, just get some dirt onto it, and you can then pop it back in. And you can wear it down just a little bit. And again, you could be really polite and nice and use cocktail things and tiny areas and pick out individual panels if you wanted to just clean up a little area, and you could do so much with this right the way through. But again, it's just one of those ones where just depending on a few different variables of how wet, how, you know, sort of satin finish it is. Again, if this was glossy, nothing would stick, it would just come straight off, and that's why I always recommend a satin finish. Don't go in there with a flat finish, because otherwise what will happen is the cleanest you'll get it will be something like that, because it will get caught in that texture. But if you go in with a satin finish, then obviously you can then go through and clean it up exactly how you want it. But you know, it's just one of those things, you just get in there and start to wear away and get in there and have fun. And you can get in there and just take it down to different grime effects and stuff, but don't rub it too hard because you'll take off too much too soon. So let it sort of start to dry on your cloth as you're rubbing it, and that way you can take it off in a nice controlled manner instead of going a little bit too quick with it. So, and that is the beauty of the wash, which has been being made now for over 10 years. No, what are we now? No, hold on, what year are we on now? 19 years.
So next year, so, 20th anniversary.
Yeah, it's coming up for its 20th anniversary from when it probably went on sale. Obviously, I used it since around about 2000, and then I was doing it for bottles for people, where people were saying about, can you fill us up a bottle full? Send us your jar, and I used to fill them up.
Yep. Are you doing a special anniversary edition?
We should do an anniversary edition with the old label on, I suppose, like these companies do.
Yeah, retro label.
Retro labels. But that's the old black and one, because I used to print them off myself. But yeah, so that's it. It's literally as simple as it sounds.
It is.
It is available, obviously, from us, but it's also available from Matt over at the PM store. So if you want to get some kits at the same time, you can get it over there. It's available from Breveco in the Netherlands. It's also available at Serious Models in Greece. So if you're in that part of the world as well, you don't worry about taxes and import duties and all these different things, then you can. But there we go. I'm trying to give it a really warm look under here, to be honest. So
it's also available for you guys in the States.
Yeah, it's available in the States as well through High Altitude Hobbies and Hobby Not Hobbies as well. They've got it now. So yeah. But yeah, it's great. If you want to do nasty and gnarly, great. And obviously this is just on aircraft. You can use it on anything. Use it on ships, use it on trains, you know, whatever you want to do it with right the way through. So yeah.
There you go.
Hopefully, oh, good. There we go. See? So now we do it. Simples. So what I'll do is I'll continue to take the rest of that off, and then obviously what we'll do Friday. No, what we do? Is it Members Show Friday? Can't remember.
Thursday.
Is it? Thursday's Members one, isn't it?
Yes.
So next Tuesday we'll be back with this one, and obviously we'll be coming in here with. I'm going to try pencils.
Always going to try pencils.
Got some Faber-Castells. No, I've got the Weathering ones as well. So yes, I'll be going to have a go with those ones. So that'd be quite nice.
Also, next week is the start of.
Yes. I'm looking for it. Hold on, because that's why I brought it up earlier, and I have freaking lost it. Hold on, where is that? Oh no, it's in the wrong thing. Hold on. Keep them talking, and I'll show them the flyer.
Quick, the flyer. So Henry I've just bookmarked the PM store, so thank you. Oh cool, don't know about the Netherlands. Finally a source where I could order your washers without too much hassle and extra cost. Yeah, that's exactly it, Yost.
Yes.
So yes, that's the trouble with what's been happening, isn't it? Really, but yeah, there is.
It is. Yeah.
There
if you
is
want to
stuff
get it,
in the
obviously.
EU.
Go and see the lovely Corrine at Rebecco. Obviously, if you go to our site, full details are up there. It takes you over to the link for it. They've got all the washes, they've got the thick stuff, they've got the pigments, they've got everything over there now, and they'll get it out to you literally next day. So it saves all of that hassle. But yes, don't forget, coming up, not this weekend, next weekend, we have the mighty
Look at that.
Turkey Shoot 2023. The No Hope edition. Brilliant. I think we should have this as a poster.
Do you reckon? Stick it on a mug.
I think we could have this on a mug. Yeah, forget the limited edition ones we're doing. We'll get this one put on.
We ought to have Turkey Shoot mugs.
Turkey Shoot mugs, yes. The 2023 Turkey Shoot mug.
Glory Fest and Turkey Shoot mugs, that'd be ace, wouldn't they?
Yes. But yeah, so obviously this is the big weekend for us. We basically build a kit. So I'm going to be building the legendary F4J Hasegawa 148 Phantom from obviously a show that I did a few weeks ago now about how that kit changed my life. So I'm going to build that one. So it's going to basically start Thursday night. We'll be back on with you on the actual Friday afternoon as well, 2 till 4. And then we're all day with you on Saturday and all day with you on Sunday. Yep. So if you want to join in for that, but we're proper building, so it's not so much us, demoing and stuff like that, like Flory Fest. This is just a full-on speed build. So build as many kits as you can.
Yeah, we want you to join in because we want to see your progress and what you're building. And yeah, it's I quite look forward to it because it's a good weekend, isn't it? So I think I've decided what I'm building. I think I might still go with the Puma, the Airfix Puma from 72nd because I can. I've got a mass set for it basically, and I like the Puma.
Yeah.
So, and then we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it was Thursday night to Friday for Sunday afternoon, isn't it? Sunday tea time is the plan. So that's good.
Yes, good
and
job. But anyway,
friend here sat on my knee, so I can actually do something. My helper will not be here.
Yes, definitely. Just to answer that question, so for people who are looking for stockists of the washes and all the rest of it, if you just pop over to the Flory Models site, so literally just pop into florymodels.org, pop in here. If you go to the store, just to say at the top, so you've got How Shoot Hobbies, we've got Serious Hobbies, we've got Breveco, and then obviously we've got Hannets and PM down in there as well. And that's the places you can get your washes and all the rest of it. But obviously if you're in the EU or in the US, seriously, get them out of those places because the cost and the time and the effort it is for us to get them over to you is not worth it. But obviously those guys have got the washes there. They can get it to you a lot quicker than we can. And obviously, you don't have all the hassle of all the bloody paperwork and import and taxes and all stuff like that as well.
Extra postage costs.
All the extra postage. Handling fees, which are the biggest rip-off. So,
there you go.
Yes,
cool.
Definitely go for that. Right, okie dokie then, guys. We will leave it right there. Thank you very much for joining us today. You're right, you've been sneezed over.
What she's doing. I've still no idea. Look at the camera. Say bye.
Wait, you is my buddy.
Look. Hey.
But yeah, so we will be back with you tomorrow afternoon. We've got a recorded show for you. So obviously we've got the PM show. So it'll be me, Matt and Andy on with you discussing latest kit releases, what we've got coming in, what we're waiting on, what we're getting really exciting about and all the other sort of industry news from that side of things. So if you want to join us for that one, it'd be lovely to have you on with that one as well. It's a member show on Thursday night. So we won't be with you because obviously that's a members one. But members, obviously we are with you on Thursday night with that. And I'll be back with you on Friday with the next part of the actual Viking build. So hopefully it'll be on its gear by then and very nicely together, and then obviously all the weathering done with it as well. So that's the plan of action to push on with that, and then I'll be with you for the catch-up show of what we've been up to this week as always. So in the meantime, happy modelling and take care. We will see you again very, very soon. Say goodbye, Matt, right here.